Good morning, everyone. It is January 28th, 2022. I hope everyone is having a great Friday morning. I know for Amy in Hawaii, it is super early. Thank you so much. It's afternoon in Germany, it looks like. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm going to roll the intro and then we will do a little chatting. And I see Kelly already has a question for me, so I will be sharing the answer to that. Good morning, Karen. I will be seeing Karen a little later today. I can hardly wait. Okay, roll in the intro, guys. Okay, this morning we are going to be creating some interactive cards. Actually, if I'm seeing you later today, you're getting to see the card you're getting with a little gift. That's for Karen. Thank you, Zara. So Kelly asked a question about, I saw in the chat here, she said, new zigs, how do you store them? I'm storing the new ones just like I store the old ones, and I'm going to flip the camera around to show you a little bit better. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Okay, let's see. Okay. Zigs need to be stored flat. I store them in these clear acrylic trays from Amazon, and I have mine, here, let me move this. I have mine sorted by color, kind of color family. So we've got like pinks, reds, and oranges in this tray, and yellow. Just my yellows are not in here right now because they're actually in somewhere else because I need to make a product list for a project. Greens, blues, and purples are in this one, and then all of my browns and neutrals are in this one. Yes, do I have to kind of rifle through them to get what I want? That I do, but I know what I have and what I use a lot. This just works really well because two of these stacks will fit in an Alex IKEA drawer unit. So I might have to get another one now that I have a few more markers. They actually aren't all in here because I'm swatching them currently. So I hope that answers that, Kelly. And Kelly, I see I missed a text from you too. I'm so sorry. I just noticed it this morning. I think that was days ago. So after this, I will answer you. All right, let me see. Jennifer says she bought 6 of those trays and she loves them. V Camp says, are they stackable? Yes, they are. And they're just clear acrylic trays. I will link to that if you would like in the description when we are done. Let me make myself a note. You guys know I have to always make myself notes. Since that question was asked. Oh, that's not good writing. Colleen says that she thought they could be stored upright and hers have been upright for a couple of years. I'm not going to tell anyone how to store things. I'm almost certain when I first got mine 8-9 years ago, it's been a while, that they suggested storing them horizontally. But if you like your system and you haven't had any trouble, I say go for it. Because I know when I posted my Copic storage solution last week, I store all my Copics vertically, and some people were like, oh, I don't store them like that. Mine have been stored like that for like 14 years or something crazy. I mean, for a really long time. So, and I've never had any issue, but I say do what works best for you. So if you haven't had any trouble, I say go for it. Mindy, there is more zigs. Did we not have that discussion? That's so funny. I just caught up from before. There are newer ones. They kind of fill in. There's like a lot of purples and things. Let me see. Oh, good. Thank you, Fenella. All right. Oh, Christy said she just watched my planner channel. Thank you. Yes, I think it's fun. It's just a nice, fun thing. Okay, Kelly, thanks. I'm so sorry. Let me see. It's been a week. I have done so much work this week. If you are a Patreon member, get ready because you're getting a lot of early access starting here when I'm done with my live this morning. So I'm really excited about that. But for everybody else, get ready because lots of new stuff is coming. Mindy, I think everybody told me I want to say 2-3 months ago, I probably didn't know about it. Everyone here told me about the new zigs. And so that's how I even found out. I had to wait till they came back in stock. That's how far behind I was getting them. Oh no, Colleen, I didn't take it that you were questioning me. I'm just totally telling you guys, I'm a big proponent for doing what works for you. I never want you to think that I am telling you you should do it exactly a certain way, because I think we all do things differently and store things differently. Let me see. All right, you guys, this card may take a little bit, so I am going to flip the camera around and we're going to get started because, like I said, I have tons to do today and I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to get our cards made. If you have any questions, make sure and either ask them and I will try to pay attention to the chat, or ask me at the end of the live. Hello, Vicky from Australia. All right, let's talk about the products we're going to use today. This is the card we're going to make. I've actually loved this stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. It was in the Valentine's kit. It's also available for individual purchase. And I thought it was so super fun. I've used it on my Patreon exclusive. I used some of the images for my Patreon exclusive live this month. And so I wanted to do something here as well. And this is interactive. Let me see if I can. You just pull this and it brings the little rainbow up from the cloud bank. This is the quintuple slider from Simon Says Stamp. This has been out for a while. I have another video, which I should link to, I forgot, where I've used this, but it's just fun. I think it's a cloud one too. I like clouds. So we're going to be creating this today. I did make multiples of these. You'll notice I have a lot of pieces already colored. I'm going to color them. They're already stamped and die cut because I don't actually have the coordinating dies yet. And so I used my brother Scan and Cut to stamp all of these and cut them out. I will say, if you are going to be creating multiples, so nice to be able to stamp and die cut these all at once and not have to line up dies. That is something I hadn't really considered. I had got this Scan and Cut because I thought it'd be great for when I don't have the dies. But it's fantastic if you want to make a bunch all at once. Emma wants to know my favorite paper for Copics. Nina, 110 pound weight. That is what I've used here. Oh, thank you so much, Suzanne. All right, let's go through the products we're going to use and then we'll get started. This is the quintuple slider. So in this, you get, this is the sliding mechanism. This is the pull tab. So that's this part right here. This is the track that you die cut from your background. So let me show you that. So here is the pull tab, and these are the little notches that fit in the track. And then this is a 4 by 5¼ inch panel that has the tracks in it. That is this piece here. You die cut it from your background, and you can kind of change how that is. I made mine a full panel, but I don't think you have to. So that is the quintuple slider. Jennifer says she used her Scan and Cut to cut a ton of images for Valentine's gift bags for the volunteers. That is awesome. For my sentiments, we are using a new stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This is Friend Greetings. That's where the Hello Friend comes from. I really, really like this one. In fact, if you are wanting to watch more lives today, Simon Says Stamp has a live coming. I believe it's at noon Eastern. And they're going to go over the latest 2 releases, the December and the January release. A paper hug from you. So I really wanted a little something else to go with Hello Friend, and I looked through my stash and I found a paper hug from you from the Say It All Friend stamp set from Simon. So that's where I got that, but definitely, I always say shop your stash to find things that work. This is the Happy Mail 6x8 stamp set that was included in the Valentine's card kit. This is where all my cute images come from. Very, very cute, based on the Doodle Bug Valentine's collection that was part of the kit. I love these images. They're just so happy and cute and fun. Yes, so many are saying they love their scan and cut. You guys are the ones who encouraged me to get it when I asked, I think last Stamp Timber. We talked about it when we were doing like lives and the premieres and things, and I decided to get one. Cindy, I am going to go slow when I put the slider part together. It is not complicated, but it does take a minute. Okay. Stencils that we're using today. I'm going to use the Lawn Fawn Cloudy Stencil, as well as the Simon Says Stamp Falling Hearts Stencil. We're going to be layering them for our background. I'm a big fan of the Falling Hearts and Clouds for my backgrounds. And then a stamp set that I've had for several years that I totally love when creating an interactive card is the Heffy Doodle Interactively Yours. Lawn Fawn also has a really great one that I use a lot. I just picked this one because of the font mostly. But it's fantastic because if you are creating interactive cards and you want your recipient to know, that has all kinds of like press me, push me, spin me, lift me, I light up. I think that's so cute. And then like I'm an interactive card. There's a couple of different ones for that. I love that. You spin me right round, baby. Now I'm going to be singing that. But I just totally love this stamp set. I have linked the supplies down in the description below. To add and to kind of hide my rainbow cloud bank, like the rainbow sticks out, but then the clouds kind of come up and out. That was the hidden element for this quintuple slider. I just picked a cloud border from my stash. I wanted something that didn't have stitching. So this is the Mama Elephant Slim Card Basics. Everybody probably has a cloud die of some sort in their stash. So just kind of whatever you might have there will work great. Okay. Oh, Carrie, that's a great price at Sam's Club for the scan and cut. Vanilla7 says, every time someone says, my brother scan and cut, I wonder why they're always specifying that it belongs to their brother, LOL. That is hilarious. Amelia, I will link to that. I will add that note. Okay. Oh, Jessie asked for it too. Yes, Cindy says cute for anniversary and wedding too. Very, very cute. Yes, Vicky, I joked with my friends because they were saying something about maybe having me show them how to do it. And I said, please don't. I have to look it up. The instructions up every single time I do the scan and cut because I don't use it enough. All right. Yes, Brenda says there's lots of YouTube videos for the scan and cut and they're very useful. I agree. Okay, so what I did first is this is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel. This is Nina 110 pound weight cardstock, and I die cut the track from the quintuple slider from this. I like to do that first, and then we're going to do anything we're going to do to the background. You could use pattern paper, you could use solid cardstock, whatever you want to do there. We're going to go ahead and do a little stenciling. We're going to start with Simon Says Stamp Cheeky. Cindy says, don't you hate it when you say something that makes you think of a crappy song and it stays in your head? Yes, my son said something the other day, and I'm not going to say the song because I don't want it to be stuck in everybody's head. And I was like, ugh, why did you say that? And he laughed because it was seriously stuck in my head for the rest of the evening, and I wish it hadn't been, and now it's going to be stuck in my head again. Kelly says she's had You'll Be Back from Hamilton stuck in her head for days. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. So this is the Lawn Fawn Cloudy Stencil. Any cloud stencil is going to be fantastic here. I'm using Cheeky ink. Sometimes I like to do my clouds in something other than blue. I don't know about you guys, but I get kind of bored of blue at times. I love blue. You probably already know that about me. But I love like a good rainbow cloud. And then this is one of my particular favorites, which is kind of a peachy, pinky, reddish cloud, especially for like Valentine's, anytime, honestly, but I love it. Now we don't need to go all the way down necessarily because most of this is going to be covered. I just want there to be enough color to go down far enough here. Oh, I got some stuff on my hair or something. All right. So that is it for that stencil. Let's move that. And then we're going to layer over some falling hearts. Let's see. I love everybody's talking about all of the songs that are stuck in their head. That's so funny. So now I'm going to take a little bit darker ink. This is the pucker ink. Actually, I lied. Before I ink up my blending brush, I found I didn't originally do this. In fact, I think this one only's got like one little border. I felt like it needed a little one here. Let's go ahead and take, here, I'm going to show you this one. The Glossy Accents is drying on this one. But I did a couple of them on this one, and I really, really like it. So let's go ahead and do that for these borders first. These are trimmed to 4 inches wide. Let me get my cheeky ink back. Just before we switch things up, I thought it just added a little bit of a softening to that border, and it blends in just a little bit better. And like I said, we're only going to do a couple. I think that's all we really need. And I'm going to do this for, I think that's the one we're stamping. Let's go ahead and do this one. I've already stamped. I made 4 of these and literally made them in no time. Whoops. Stay put, stencil. I love being able to create multiples, especially with something like this. Okay, I like that so much better. All right, now let's move that stencil back out of the way and let's add our falling hearts. Let's see, V Camp says, totally off topic, but do you have a separate blending brushes for your Simon inks and Pink Fresh Studio inks, or can you use the same ones for both? I use the same ones for both there. I will tell you that I've become a lot more diligent about cleaning my brushes pretty much after every project. They're going to be stained, but I do clean mine up fairly often. I have different brushes for Distress Oxide inks though. Let's see. No, Kelly, I'm not bored of blue. For sure not bored of blue. I'm trying to mix it up, though, so that I don't get all the comments of, oh, you really like blue. I always like blue. Blue is always a good idea. This is Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively Saturated Pucker ink. I almost went with blue, but I think I'm super glad I went with this peach color because I think it shows off the rainbow a little bit better. At least the kind of rainbow I wanted to do today. All right. Oh, actually, let's leave that out. I'm going to move that stencil as well, and my blending brush, and my stencil mat. All right. Let me see. Lori says, do you find the Simon brushes take ink better than other brushes? Trying to decide if I should switch to those. I love them. I personally think they are incredible. I really, really highly recommend them. Let me see. Lori says she loves that cloud stencil as well. Yay! Jean, you are not that late. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Kelly, that's really interesting. She says she heard that a song gets stuck in your head because you don't know the whole thing. Sing a short song to completion to push it out of your brain. Oh, that's so funny. That's really cool. Okay, so when this track die cuts, you do need to pop out these little pieces here. which I've already done for this one. I think I ended up with an extra. And I am going to go ahead and customize the tab now. There is a circle with an arrow that die piece that you can use if you want to. I opt not to. And then I have my little pull here from that Heffy Doodle Interactively Yours stamp set that I am going to stamp on my tab with pucker ink using an acrylic block. I don't do that very often. Let me see. Fenella says, getting ready for a nor'easter here in Connecticut. Yes, I saw that on the weather today. Okay, and then we're going to put this together as soon as all of our little stamping is done. So the other thing that I have to do real quick, and then we're going to put the background together, and I'm going to put the interactive part together, and then we'll color everything last. I already have my stamps in my MISTI, and we're going to start with the Hello Friend part, and we're going to go back with our Cheeky and Pucker ink. So I'm actually going to ink up Hello Friend with Cheeky and just stamp that there, and a little bit of Pucker, and I'm going to use a little bit of more Cheeky. I want it to kind of have that ombre effect. That looks good. And then, with the magic of the MISTI, I have my other sentiment lined up on the other side. I'm going to clean this, just wipe it down really quick because I made a mess with that ink. There we go. And we're going to take some black ink. Oh, and I'm using my ink as my holder for all of my little die cut images. I don't think I even have to mess that up. And we're going to stamp a paper hug from you right underneath. Just like so. Good morning, Renee. Oh, that's so good to know. Emma says she has tried all kinds of brushes and Simon are her favorite. They're sized great and take ink well. I totally agree. Mindy says that she got distracted looking for the new zigs. That's hilarious. Okay, let's go ahead and put this together. I wanted to show you a couple things. First up, we are going to be popping up this element, or the cloud bank in the front. That's to hide the interactive part of this element. You could also have it like be grass or something and have things popping out of the ground. I think that would be cute. I like 2 layers of foam here. I'm using pretty thin foam. I feel like it makes everything go back behind nice with 2 layers of foam, because I'm going to be popping up this. Can you see that there's like little, here, there we go. We're going to be popping up these things up on a little foam square. I actually placed the whole background flat to my card. So even though it has some foam, I think it's still fairly flat. Oh, good. Cindy says she used cupcake tins for her little dies the other day and it worked well. I love that. So here's the thing about this slider. You want to pop all of these little, they look almost like a little die cut window. This is going to go in the track and wrap around the front. It's kind of a pain. There's no other way to say it, you guys. It is kind of a pain to wrap these around and get them secure. And I'll show you why, but it's worth it. And I have found a little tip or trick that works really great. So what I do is I open them all up first. Oh, good. Amber says the Simon brushes are her favorite too. I love that. Let's see. Once we have these open, the other thing I do is I generally go through and I just kind of make sure all those little tracks, I mean, they're die cut, but we want to make sure they are going to be nice and open. And I'm going to need another one of these. Let me grab some more foam. So I generally start over here on the left, and I'm going to just simply flip this, and you want to wrap these pieces around each one of these. So here's the part that's a pain. You get one in, you're trying to fiddle with the other one, at least for me, and the first one slips out. And I get mad, and no one wants to hear me curse and get mad. So I do one at a time. I have found these little foam adhesive squares from Scrapbook Adhesives are my absolute favorite because they fit right on there. They secure the tab, and they also provide that little pop-up for our interactive element. So now that one is secure, we're just going to do the next one and the next one. So there is, and I generally have my tweezers here. You probably don't have to, but I don't know that I got that on there very good. We're just going to make sure that's wrapped around well. I might not have got that one opened. Oh, there we go. Flatten it out. Take a foam adhesive square. So you can see this is not like super duper speedy. It's not terrible, but I do think that it just takes a second. There we go. But securing them has definitely been one at a time. You can also use like a little double-sided adhesive if you want to secure them and then put your foam adhesive on top. I just really like the foam adhesive because it serves double duty there. Let me see. Oh, good. I'm glad that the info on the brushes was helpful. Lori, that's great. Oh, Donna, I'm so glad you're here. Okay. And see what I mean? Sometimes they are just a little tricky to get in those tracks. All right, I have to move it closer to my face apparently. I'm so sorry. There we go. Tweezers also helpful. I even use thick cardstock, but sometimes, you guys, I just don't think. With all of these little tracks, it can be a trick. All right, and we have one more. Let's see. I want to remind everyone, if you haven't already, I would so appreciate it if you would like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. All of those things help so much, and I appreciate you all for being here and hanging out with me on Friday mornings. Okay. I notice as we get further across, I think just because you don't have quite as much give, it can be a little tricky to get that last one, but there we go. All right. And then I'm just going to add my little, whoops, foam adhesive square to secure that. And then there it works. And you can put something different on each one of these. I particularly love like balloon critters or whatever, kind of floating up in the clouds. It's just so cute. I love it. I'm going to flip this over really quick because I want to show you when you place this on your card, you're going to want to have adhesive just on these sides and the bottom. You don't want to put adhesive on this because this needs to be able to move. So my favorite is to take like some thin foam adhesive, and like this is just the really thin, and I place it down the sides like so. And then I'll put some here too. We're not quite ready to put it on our card base. I mean, you totally could if you wanted to. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I don't think so yet. All right. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to set this here, but we're not going to secure it quite yet. Let's grab our little images to color. We're actually going to be using a rainbow, the rainbow and clouds. Now this cloud image, oh, I did want to show you this. Here is something about the scan and cut that you wouldn't have if you just use the metal dies. This cloud has hearts, which would be cute because the hearts should come up. You can see if you use the coordinating dies, you're going to see like cute little hearts or whatever. But because I didn't have the coordinating die and it wouldn't have die cut them correctly, the scan and cut would have cut each individual heart by itself. So I went ahead and just masked off the hearts and I die cut the clouds only to use for my design. You can also just cut, you know, fussy cut them if you had the regular steel rule die. But when you place them there, that's what's going to pop out of our little slider mechanism is the cute little clouds. So I have 2 clouds. Oh, I colored most of them. I have one of them to color here. So we've got a rainbow we're going to color, a cloud. I also have like some little individual hearts. And then my favorite image from the set is this darling little bear with the heart balloons. Yes, Bonnie, that is an awesome idea. She says this would be cute with Lawn Fawn Happy Days. That's one of my favorite Lawn Fawn sets, and I completely agree. Oh, Nancy, that's totally fine. We're so glad you're here. Let's go ahead and color in our cloud first. I am using Copics today. Yes. Who said they love interactive cards? Christy. Yes, I do too. And this is a really simple one, but really, really fun. I think I'd like to do like a more in-depth edited video and do some other ideas other than like clouds. I really wanted to use this stamp set and I wanted to do interactive today, and that's kind of how we got to this point. I'm using just a little BG13 around the edges. And then we're going to take BG10, which has quite a bit of colorless blender in it, and we're going to go around the edges again, like so. This is more of a pastel-y rainbow today, rather than a bright primary rainbow. Oh, good. Julie just caught me live for the first time. Thank you. In fact, you guys, if this is the first live, I would love if you would let me know in the chat, maybe do a number 1 or a heart. I love seeing who we have here for the first time. We had a ton of first timers last Friday, which I love to see. Tana says she thinks she has that die and hasn't used it yet. Okay, show of hands, hands up in the chat. How many of us have so many products that we have and we have never used? That's me. Sharon says, what are my go-to ink pads for blending Distress or Distress Oxide? Now, I think clouds that have cute little faces need cute little cheeks, so I'm using a little R00 for that. Also, down in the description box below, I have all the markers listed out for you guys already. So hopefully that helps. Plus they will be in my blog post that's going to go up here a little bit later today. Oh my goodness. Yay. Lillian is a first timer. That is awesome. And so many of you guys are saying me, me, me. I figured we're all the same. We have loads and loads of products. Maybe we should make it a goal that before next Friday, we try to use one thing we have in our stash, not new, one thing in our stash that we have not used yet. And we'll report back next Friday. Sound good? Oh, good. Vicky's trying some interactive cards. I love that. While I have BG 13 and 10 out, we're just going to go ahead and color this bottom row of our happy little rainbow. I love that these have faces. I have to admit, I don't always love faces on things, but I do really like these. Guilty, Jennifer says. That's funny. Oh my goodness, Kathy is a first timer. Nancy is first. Oh, I love that. Laura says she has a new system. She can't use anything until she has used everything from her previous order at least once. It's hard, but it's working and keeping control of the want monster. Okay, well, you're much, much stronger than me. I love that. Box of shame. Mom, is it Mamasaurus Rex 5? First of all, your name is hilarious. She says she puts all of her new stuff in a box labeled box of shame and it can't come out until I've used it. That is amazing. Oh, that's really good. Zara says, Nicole, try to draw a line around the perimeter of the clouds with tiny hearts with pencil for the scan and cut, and then erase the pencil mark once the image has been cut. That is awesome. I will tell you, on this rainbow image, the heart border doesn't have a line. See that little black line here? I did that on purpose. Otherwise, it would have tried to cut this, and then all of the hearts individually. So I just boxed it in with a little line because it's going to be covered with the clouds anyway. But a pencil line is amazing. I love that. Tracy, the flippy flappy die, I have a video coming with that soon. I think that's going to be my February a year of Christmas video, which my January year of Christmas video is coming tomorrow. I can't wait to show you that to you guys. It's going to be my monthly series all year long where I share some Christmas ideas, hopefully, because I always have a much bigger list than what I have time for during Handmade Holiday. So my greens today, I picked something more minty that I felt like went with the colors here a little bit better. This is G02 and G00. A house full of shame, Christy said. You guys always make me laugh on Friday mornings. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you, Nancy. So the yellow we're going to do here is Y08 and Y11. And I kind of concentrate like the majority of the color down along the bottom and kind of around the arch. The bigger the rainbow ray gets. Oh, thank you, Mamasaurus Rex. Yes, I'm super excited to share that with you. But I do think the flippy flappy, if I don't do it for that, I'll probably do another video. It's actually out. I had considered it for today, but I've done another live with it and I really want to do an edited video with that. Jennifer, you and me both. I need to go beyond the basics with the scan and cut too, because literally it's a struggle every time. So for the hearts, this is going to be a color combination you'll see throughout the rest of the coloring. It's going to be a little R35 and R32. The hearts are going to be the darkest color in my rainbow, or I guess the most prominent. I don't know. And I mostly colored them all in. I am going to take R32. Oh no, Christine, you didn't get a notification. Make sure that when you click notifications, you're clicking all. Hopefully that helps. I know YouTube sometimes like unsubscribes people, and I've heard this from some other content creators I follow, so definitely check your settings just in case. I actually got unsubscribed from someone I follow too, and I was like, what in the world? So check your settings, everybody, just if you're not getting notifications from your favorite content creators. Let's see, Cindy says in one of her groups, they are doing 5 on the 5th, 5 Christmas cards on the 5th of each month, and they have a theme. That is so cool. I love that. Vicki, the flippy flappy die is from Lawn Fawn, and it's really, really cool. I have another live on my channel here where I've used it. Luna, I agree. We're the largest group of enablers on the internet. Crafters, for sure. So the next row, I'm actually going to go back with R32, which I did use to blend out my hearts. But we're going to use it as our darker color here, which I think R32 and R30 match the pucker and cheeky of our background perfectly. And that's kind of what we're going for. And this is R30. And then we're going to finish our little scallop of our rainbow, which I think is such a cute detail. I love that there's a scallop and then the little heart row. Oh, Cindy, that's awesome. She has an alarm on her phone that goes off before I go live. 30 minutes, I think she said. The chat just flew by. RV 55 and 52 are what I'm going to use for the pink. And I'm just going to do a little dark line. The rainbow really is the most time intensive. I shouldn't even say it's that time intensive. It's not that, but it is fairly small and I used a lot of colors on it. But I really wanted it to be the focal point here. I also see that I got some of my pink into my peachy ray. I'll show you how I fixed that, because that wasn't my nicest coloring. All right, oops, one more. So I'm going to actually go back with R30, and there's a little spot here where I got a little too much of the RV55, and I'll just blend that out. Oh, good. Thank you, Colleen. You guys are so sweet. Diane says we are enabling with such joy. Yes, we do. Okay, while I color in my bear, I am going to take my black pen, my black jelly roll pen, and I'm going to just go over the eyes on my clouds and my rainbow, which deepens and darkens them. And I'm going to let that dry. And then let's color in this cute, cute little bear. We've got some warm grays somewhere here. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Christine. I will have to do an edited video with it. I have it on my list because I really want to do some other ideas. I think it's really great for scene cards, which I love to make. So I want my bear to appear to be kind of white, light gray, I don't know. So I'm going to use warm gray 4, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit of warm gray 4 to my bear. And then I'm going to take warm gray 1, and we're going to blend that out. Like so. That's just going to kind of help soften the harsh lines. And then let's see, Tana, I see a square. Is it maybe a foam square? That square, you guys, right there, is from my video camera. I don't know how to get rid of it. It is irritating me. I'm so sorry about that. Hopefully we can get rid of it. It's luckily up at the top of the screen. It is not when I switch the camera to the front facing. So I know it's my video camera. I'm trying to figure it out, I promise. All the tech stuff takes me forever to figure out. If anyone has any idea, let me know. I just like my video camera much, much better than my phone camera, so I'm going to live with it. Let me see. Yep, Tracy, you're correct. I don't know why it's there. Let me see. Okay, good. Yes, I know. It does kind of look like a foam square. That's funny. For the cheeks, oh, here it is. And the insides of the ear, I'm going to use a little R00. And I wanted to show you, if you ever think like the cheeks are too dark, I don't think they're too bad here. Because I used Warm Gray 00 as my light color, it has a lot of colorless blender. You can just kind of go over them and mute that if you want to. Then the next thing I did, let me show you on this guy. I like to add some little dot detail. Just, it kind of adds a fun little touch to little critters. He almost is like a little stuffed bear floating up in the sky or something. And I like it to be pretty imperfect, so we'll just add a few here and there. And then let's go ahead and color in his heart balloons. And I am going to use R37. We're actually going to pull in a little bit darker red for that. Like so. And blend out with the, oh, you know, Lady Fair, the square might be used for white balancing. I don't know. I will look at that though. That might be what it is. Wonder if I can get rid of it. When the live's over, thank you for that suggestion. I will look into that. Linda, that is the funniest thing. She says, my girls think I should be sent to different countries. I would sabotage all their computer systems, so no help here on how to get rid of a square. Yes, you and I are in the same boat. Oh, Megan, you're not late. That's totally fine. Luckily, replay is available, and replay crew, I love you guys. I know I'm always popping into my comments and commenting on that. Thank you so much for catching the replay and watching the replay. I appreciate you all very, very much. My lighter balloon is R32 and R30. And I like to color them in first, kind of like so. Then we are going to go, because I want it to kind of look like they overlap. And I'm going to add a little R32 there. I don't know that I did a very good job. Let me fix that. And then I'm just going to kind of gently go back with my R30. But see how it makes it look like they're a little more translucent, I suppose. Oh, and then that little cute heart on his chest, I love. Such a small thing, but I love it. A little R35. Oh, Jenna, that's awesome. Make sure you sign up for notifications because you will get the notification when I go live. Because I know with time zones and things, it can be so hard. So I have lots of these little hearts. I'm not going to color them all because it's just going to be repeats of what you've seen me color, but let's go ahead and get a couple of them for this card done at least. And I'm going to do them all like in the reds or the peachy pink colors. And then we're going to put it all together. I've really been, this is such a small thing that probably it does not affect you guys too much, but I've really been trying to stick to an hour for my lives. And luckily, I think we've been doing pretty good. Christine, that's so funny. Thank you. All right. Let me just move these extras up here. I'll do those later. So while this is still unassembled, let's go ahead and fix the eyes. Do a little black jelly roll pen for eyes. I think I did some for the nose on the bear as well, so that's drying. Oh, good, Julie. I'm glad you're here. So here is the awesome thing about this. Each of these can be a different sliding mechanism. Like you could put something different on each one of these. Or, like you can see here, the rainbow actually is going to fit on these two. So I'm just going to lay them out and kind of show you guys how I planned this. It does take a little bit of planning, but that's totally cool. Then a cloud is going to be glued partly to this, but it's also going to be popped up on those outer ones. The other one goes over here. And then I did a little heart here right in the center, which the heart is, and the clouds, whoops, is hidden. Well, I guess you see a little bit of it. Depends on how high you do your cloud border. So just kind of cute that way. All right. Let's go ahead and remove the backing. Linda, that's awesome. Tell him hello. Let's see if I've missed anything. Linda says she watches on her TV and then on her phone for comments. I've heard that from a lot of you guys that you do that. That's a really great idea. So I've removed those and I'm just popping it up. And remember, you want anything that's going to move needs to be adhered to the foam squares. Let's go ahead and do our heart here. Like so. Now, because you don't want your clouds to catch, we are going to have to glue part of them to our rainbow. So I'm going to see where it's going to touch. And I'm putting a little liquid glue. And I think we'll go kind of like that. And we'll have to let it dry for a minute, but that's okay. And like that. So there is the interactive part of the card. I'm going to pull it all the way up for right now. And we're going to put some foam adhesive on the back of our border. And I'll show you on this. I kept it pretty low. You just want to make sure that it's low enough that when this stuff comes down, it's not going to run into it and not go any further. Oh, thank you, Julie. I'm so glad that you like it. Christine says she has been resisting the kit. I do think that there are some of the Valentine's kits still available. I don't know how many, and I do know, if you weren't here a little earlier, I mentioned that Simon Says Stamp has a live today. I believe it's at noon Eastern, so 11 Central, my time. And I'm sure they're going to talk about it if there are some still available, but it's been out for a little bit, so I would imagine quantities are getting low. But you can always just pick up the stamp set individually. Or any of the cute Doodlebug stuff too. I love Doodlebug. I do 2 rows of foam adhesive. I found that that works for my design. It's not going to hinder the movement at all. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2, and I'm stacking 2 rows on top of each other because I find that that makes my interactive element slide a little nicer and not catch that bad. And then we're simply going to line up our cloud bank with the bottom of the card like so. And then when you slide it down, it'll be kind of hidden. I think I maybe die cut this one. There's not a lot of quality control here. It's not quite as tall, but I still think it's cute. Okay, so there is that. Then I took a bear because I like decorating down here as well. And we're going to put foam adhesive. I think foam adhesive, you guys know how much I love foam adhesive, probably already. Whoops. I love it. I use it all the time. We're going to pop him up. Right next to the sentiment. I have foam adhesive square backs everywhere. Do you guys have them all over your house too? I try so hard not to, and they always end up all over. And I like kind of tipping him just a tiny bit, like he's floating right there. Like so. Oh, cute. Let me go ahead and color another heart really fast. I believe I used 3 per card. This is another thing that the scan and cut really helped, is because there's only one heart, or one little individual heart in that stamp set. So I stamped a bunch and it just die cut them all at once, and I didn't have to line up the die with each one. Hello, Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Yes, Linda, you could totally stencil the pull part. I considered it and then I decided not to. Okay, and here is something I thought that would be really, really fun. You could stamp something right here, like a hidden little sentiment almost. I think that would be kind of cute too. All right, then you don't want to adhere anything to the track pieces because that will hinder movement, but you can adhere or glue down anything to parts of this that are not super easy. So I went ahead and added a couple of extra hearts, like so. And I'm just going to let that dry for a second, and let's grab our card base. And I have an A2 sized card base here. And our whole panel is 4 by 5 1/4, so it's going to be just a little smaller. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Diane says she's never made an interactive card. They scare her. You know what? Just break it down into smaller chunks. They can be a little intimidating, but I saw someone else suggest watching YouTube. PJ says, watch the YouTube videos and pause it, rewind, go back. I totally agree with that. That is great. Nancy says, coloring with skunks with Copics and coloring black image. It's hard to do highlights and smooth blending on tiny images. I would say just stick to a couple of colors if you're doing tiny images. And my biggest suggestion for black is to not use black, to use some grays. All right. Yes, I got a scan and cut on Black Friday, actually. So I am going to put adhesive anywhere where my track isn't on the back. And then I did put that thinner adhesive along the sides that I'm going to remove. And we're going to place this on our card base. Like so. And it's only going to be secured down the sides and here at the bottom, because up at the top, that's where our interactive goes. Here, there we go. And you can just pull that. You could even punch a little notch right here if you wanted, I guess. You could place it on another piece of cardstock, or you could punch a notch right here. That might help, but I find it works okay just like so. Then the final thing I did for my card, let me see where my little heart went. There it is. I knew I got one out. I am going to add a little heart accent right here. We've got hearts everywhere. And once it's pulled all the way out and you're completely happy with everything, I did go in and add glossy accents, so these will all be glossy and finished, but it needs to, sit for probably a little bit to completely dry. I think I let mine sit for an hour. I always love adding glossy accents to balloons. Like that. So I did my hearts and my heart balloons, and then I'm going to let that sit and dry. And eventually you end up with a card that looks like this or like this. Like I said, I did these assembly line style because I just loved it so much. And I don't know if you guys can tell, I added little eyelashes to her. I might go in and add eyelashes to all of them because I thought it was kind of a fun little thing to do. And that is it. That is a little quintuple slider card action for you this Friday morning. Let's see. And I could try to do, I know that Nancy asked about coloring skunks. I'm going to flip my camera around here. I will maybe try, I have a couple of little things. Let me add that skunk coloring with Copics, correct? Skunk shading. I have to write myself notes because I won't remember. Okay, did I miss any questions that you guys really need me to answer? How do you prevent bubbles using glossy accents? So a lot of times I will kind of push the air out and then take it to my project. And then let me see if I have one that I can do really quick. Let me flip my camera back. And hopefully I get a bubble so I can show you. Let me zoom in too. So here is how I get rid of bubbles. Let me just, of course, I probably won't get one now that I want. Oh, though I do. Okay, there are bubbles right there. I love to take a sharp tip. This is my Spellbinders Tool-in-One. And you can also take like a straight pin, like a sewing straight pin, and just pop them. That is how I get rid of bubbles when I am applying glossy accents. And I probably should just go ahead and finish on this one now since I started. I hope that helps a little bit. I think there's still a bubble there too. And then I just clean off the tip of this immediately. Well, come here, pop. Unless that's not a bubble. Oh, there we go. Let me see. Skunk and penguin, PJ says. Okay, I will write that. That's a funny thing to have on your to-do list, yes. Let me see. Yes, thanks. It's the little things in card making. Thank you for being part of the replay crew. It was the new Lawn Fawn skunks, Nancy says. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to add penguin to that as well. I actually think I have a little bit of free time at the beginning of next week, so I can kind of maybe do a couple of these little things. Yes, the bubbles, it's so much easier to just pop them with like a little straight pin, or my Tool-in-One is usually handy, so I use that sharp tip for that. Thank you, Liz, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Oh, good, Linda. She says a great way to start a Friday morning. Thank you so much. Will the mini ink cubes fit in the trays you use for your zigs? Carrie, I have not tried that. I will check and see. I mean, I'm sure they'll fit in there. I just don't know how many will fit in there. Probably quite a few. Yes, Linda's reminding everyone to like the video. Thank you, Linda, for reminding everyone. Donna Joe says, #1 tip is don't ever shake glossy accents. Some people turn it upside down and shake to bring to the tip, and that can form bubbles. That is a great tip. I just generally kind of try to release some of that air when I have it out, because usually you can see, oh, there, it's making bubbles right now. And so I'll just kind of have that pop a little bit before I take it to my project. Oh, good. Denise just ordered the slider. I love it. And she has everything else. I love that. I've been trying to like go back and hit some previously released stuff as well. Oh, good. Jody's at work and she was able to catch part of it. That's exciting. So much fun. Oh, Diane, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Yes, the Christmas cards are coming. The video goes up tomorrow morning. I was going to have it go live today and I changed it to tomorrow. So yes, it is coming. This card is so fun. Janelle says she just told her husband she needs this slider. It is fun. Debbie J's Crafting Corner says she doesn't use her glossy accents enough, I'm assuming, and it clogs really bad. You know, I store mine upside down, and I think that might help. I don't know, but you might try that. Okay, you guys, yes, yay, Mivita Loca Studio is excited. I'm excited to share the Christmas cards with you. In fact, I'm just going to finalize all of that here in a second. So, yay, exciting. This blog post will go up a little bit later today, which will have like the finished card photos and all of that good stuff. And definitely stay tuned tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. The Christmas video goes live. If you're a member of Patreon, stay tuned here. Probably, I think it's going to go up at, 1 p.m. For Patreon. You guys get early access, so you'll get to see it first. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We will see you next Friday for the next live. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see, definitely drop me a comment either in the chat or in the video. Once the video has ended, in the comments, I would love to hear it. And we'll see you next Friday. Bye. The supplies used in today's video are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another project that you might be interested in. Please remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to never miss a new live video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.